Baltimore Ravens got their guy. Then they got their other guy. Trey Hendrickson introduces Baltimore's newest closer, 4-year, $112 million, 60 M's guaranteed. Ravens paying for performance, fourth most sacks in the league since 2021, only behind Miles, TJ Watt, and Micah Parsons. So for the Ravens, Trey is now their numero uno.
I'm in a win now window, right? Being at my career has been phenomenal, and I've been so blessed to meet great people and win a lot of games with Drew Brees and Joe Burrow. But this opportunity to hoist the Lombardi Trophy and get into the win column and build something from the ground up is an amazing opportunity. If you can't get excited to play here, you need to check your pulse, because this is a tremendous opportunity for my family. We're excited and completely blessed and blown away by the welcoming.
And gets to stay in the division, so twice a year gets a little bit of that payback against the Bengals, who didn't want to pay him. Fowler filers are open. Okay, so the Trey Hendrickson story, there's certainly another side of that, because that could have, would have, should have been Max Crosby just about a week ago. So what now is the situation with Max Crosby and the Las Vegas Raiders?
Like our guy Randy Scott, Max Crosby is 100% a Raider. He has told the team that since the trade got reversed. He said, look, I'm all in for 2026. If you will have me, let's roll. I will be healthy, ready to play, and give you my best and have a banner season. So talking to sources with the Raiders, they do expect, at least right now, for him to be on the team and with them as they move forward. They've loosened the salary cap. They had to make a lot of signings in free agency thinking they wouldn't have Max. Now they do, but they made the adjustments. Their roster is better. I'm told he likes the free agent additions they made to improve the roster. So everybody seems like they're in a good spot. But since they've already looked at trading them, they're open to that possibility potentially if the right offer would come. We're looking at timelines here. Now it's going to be a little slow, but you got closer to the draft. Perhaps, trade offers will heat up or maybe even closer to the season. But right now he's a Raider, and that's expected for at least a little while.
There are needs to fill certainly in Vegas, a glaring one, quarterback. What are some potential options beyond the draft in Vegas?
I'm going to start with Joe Flacco, who's been around. He's started a lot of games. He is available. He is weighing options right now. Speaking of Vegas, I'm told that is an option for him, that they would have interest in potentially bringing him along as a backup/bridge if Fernando Mendoza needs to sit a little bit, assuming they draft him, which they will. But he's also got some other options, including Cincinnati, coming back to be Joe Burrow's backup. He really liked it there, so that could ultimately be the play if he signs somewhere next week. Then you got Kirk Cousins. This is a little bit different for him in the past. As a free agent, he used to be the belle of the ball. Right now, he's more in wait-and-see mode. He could maybe go to a place where there's already a starter, but they're injured, like Indianapolis with Daniel Jones. Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes is a good opportunity if he's not ready coming off that ACL in week 1. And last year, you got Kyler Murray. So this is kind of manna from heaven for the Vikings. They get him on the cheap. League minimum $1 million a year because Arizona's paying him all that guaranteed money. He's got Pro Bowl pedigree. They were looking for a veteran in the room to be established. Look, they told me that they haven't given up on J.J. McCarthy. They're still hopeful there, but you know how this goes. Sometimes when you start seeing other people, it's probably going to be similar to what the Colts did last year. They get Daniel Jones, but they had Anthony Richardson. They battled it out in camp, and the veteran won the job.
Kyler Murray mentioned in his introductory press conference with the Vikings how he loved them as a kid and cried real tears whenever Brett Favre threw that interception, to which Randy Scott said, "Interception? Which one, Brett Favre?" Jeremy Fowler joining us with the files.
Appreciate you guys watching every day. Awesome week out of Greeny and everybody else. Friday, we do a little Schrager 5. And here are my top 5 under-the-radar moves in free agency. We start with number 5, C.J. Gardner-Johnson to the Buffalo Bills. You might have missed that one. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, not the nicest guy on the field, not a warm and fuzzy guy. He's an instigator. He is one of those types that you put on a defense to get a little nasty, and that's what Buffalo's needed. They were 30th in the league against the run last year. Their defense was not great down the stretch. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, a veteran, number 5 on our list. Number 4, Isaiah Likely to the Giants. Yes, it's a former Raven, and Harbaugh knows him, but he is a very good tight end, and you put him with Theo Johnson in an offense that's being run by Matt Nagy, but also has Greg Roman as an assistant coach, and you think about all the 2 tight end sets, likely not the biggest move, but one that will make a difference in New York. Number 3, we've been bashing the Bengals for all these off seasons. They don't spend money. They don't do anything to help Joe Burrow. Brian Cook was the top safety on the market, and he signed with the Cincinnati Bengals. An underrated signing and one that we haven't discussed much on ESPN. Cook comes from the Super Bowl champion Chiefs dynasty, comes over here, brings a little veteran leadership, but also with plenty of years left to go in his NFL career. Brian Cook, the safety, going to Cincinnati. That was number 3. Number 2, how about Devin Lloyd, who was in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year after about 6 weeks of the NFL season, going from the Jaguars to the Panthers. Panthers broke the bank on Jalen Phillips on the first day of free agency. Very quietly added Devin Lloyd, who had this pick 6 against the Kansas City Chiefs on a Monday night game. Had maybe his best season as a pro. Jacksonville does not retain him. He goes all the way to Carolina in the NFC. Interesting one there. But the number 1, in a world of us talking about A.J. Brown rumors nonstop for 3 months to the Patriots, Romeo Doubs to the New England Patriots. I love this one. I think Doubs could be a number 1 wide receiver in this league. As Mike Tannenbaum said earlier, it's gotten better and better every single season. He had some hiccups 2 years ago. He played the full season last year. He was excellent. He wears the awesome Guardian cap, which I love. And Romeo Doubs is right now slated in, with Stephon Diggs gone, as the number 1 wide receiver for a team that went to the Super Bowl a year ago. We turn to our NFL crew. Graz, your favorite NFL signing from the week?
I love Malik Willis going to Miami. I think it may be under the radar because it happened right away, and so much has happened since, and I don't think people expect much out of Miami. But Miami's not going to just tank their season. I think they feel like Malik Willis is somebody that, you know, is a bet worth making. And for Malik Willis, it's a great spot because you have people that are familiar with you. The head coach and the GM came from Green Bay, where you spent your last couple of years. So you feel like you're going to be in the best position to show what you can do. If it works out, maybe you're the long-term answer there. If it doesn't, from the Dolphins' perspective, they address it next year in the draft.
Mike Tannenbaum, your favorite signing of the week?
Peter, Bradley Chubb to the Bills to go with Gardner Johnson.
Ooh.
If he's healthy, this is tremendous value. Reportedly about $17 million a year with incentives. He played all 17 games last year, had 8.5 sacks. He's going to replace Joey Bosa, so a healthy Bradley Chubb with Greg Rousseau. That's an excellent bookend tandem for the Bills. So if he stays healthy, well done, Buffalo.
D. Wood.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Trent McDuffie. I love the fact that the Los Angeles Rams attacked a weakness on their defense. We all saw how their secondary was a big-time issue, and they go out there and get one of the best cornerbacks in the National Football League in Trent McDuffie. Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs decided that, you know what, we're not going to extend him. Rams came out, scooped him up.
First-round pick.
You know what? For a team that's win now, with Matthew Stafford and company coming back, they said, not only are we going to trade for Trent McDuffie, but we're going to double down with another cornerback from the Kansas City Chiefs and Jalen
Watson.
Jalen Watson, excuse me.
Joe?
As everybody knows, I'm the biggest champion of offensive line play here on this show. I think it's been made
Wear it well
over the years.
I was several years ago.
Tyler Biadasz, the center that signed with the Los Angeles Chargers, 3 years, $30 million. The entire cost of that deal is basically 1 year of Tyler Linderbaum, who completely reset the market with the Raiders. Durable player, 28 years old, addresses a big position of need for the Chargers. So someone has to stand up for the big guys.
Of course.
I do want to go back to the AFC East a little bit. I'm going and doing flips about Romeo Doubs. I do think he's got the potential to be that guy. And sure, the A.J. Brown conversation will carry on throughout the offseason. Patriots and Bills both had interesting weeks. Look at the offseason as a whole, with new coaching staff in Buffalo and, of course, with the Patriots, with what they had to go through from the Super Bowl on. Dan Graziano, who do you feel more comfortable with this offseason so far, Patriots or Bills in the AFC East?
I guess I'd feel more comfortable with the Patriots because of the continuity on the coaching staff. We still don't know if Joe Brady can do this, right? Jim Leonard is an exciting hire at defensive coordinator, but it will be a first time for him. So that makes me a little hesitant. I like the moves they've made in terms of their player personnel. I like DJ Moore for them. But the Patriots were just in the Super Bowl, and they haven't lost a ton, and especially that continuity in the coaching staff around a young quarterback as he continues to develop and improve. I like that.
Mike T, they did bring in Vera Tucker, who had injury history with the Jets and then did play 15 games. Do you feel better about the offensive line because of that addition?
I do, and again, we've talked a lot about risk-reward take. Kyler Murray with Minnesota, what we just talked about with Bradley Chubb. Like, sometimes you have to take risks, Mike Evans, and I think Vera Tucker, absolutely. Look, We saw the difference in the game in the Super Bowl was the lack of the offensive line being able to hold up against Seattle. So if you could get a year or two out of Vera Tucker, that is a very good signing.
Damien?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Patriots as well because, listen, I know I have Mike Vrabel. The Patriots were one of the top teams as far as snaps by rookies. Think about that.
Yeah.
Think how many rookies played big-time roles with the Patriots last year. They're only going to get better. And so the combination of that and then obviously adding a player like Romeo Doubs and some of the other key free agents that the Patriots acquired, I like where the Patriots are right now. I really do.
If we're only talking about offseason personnel moves, they're right. But once